So, y'all, we finally got to the end of the season, okay? And they revealed so much, but they also left a lot of shit up in the air. They also cleared a path for the next phase of the MCU. So I can't wait to get into it. Let's talk. Let's talk. Okay, so we getting right into it. I'm talking about we picking up just where we left off. And I remember last video, I'm like, I wonder what's behind here. I wonder what's going on. I've been seeing that there were a lot of theory videos and shit on YouTube, like explainer videos on YouTube saying that bitch, it's probably Kang the Conqueror. And then since I know a little tiny bit about him, I was just like, child, they probably right. So I was like, it's probably Kang behind there, but I did not expect it for them to play it the way that they did. I think it was really cool. So anyway, they came to the Citadel, bitch, and I love this fucking, it's just I love Sylvie and Loki's like energy and chemistry together, and they were just making jokes like, bitch, are you ready to go inside this shit? Like, what's going on? So anyway, the doors open up and I was like, oh bitch, is Kang gonna be right there? Is Kang gonna be right there? Bitch, and it's not. And guess who it is? Guess who it is, bitch? It's Miss fucking Minutes, ho. Now I want to know what's going on. Is Miss Minutes like she must be an employee or something? Kang must be like, bitch, you know, you better keep visiting these hoes and telling these hoes what the tea is, or else you gonna get a pink slip or something. I don't know what's going on, but they see Miss Minutes and she essentially goes into this whole thing like, hey, you know, I know y'all are here, y'all are trying to do some shit that y'all probably should not be doing, but let me see if I can offer you something else. Loki, you know why you're here, honey. You know why you're here. Okay, the Battle of New York. Would you like to win against the Avengers? How would you like to win and kill Thanos? What about that? Do you want the Infinity Gauntlet? You want the Throne of Asgard? I was like, oh shit, I hope they don't fall for this stupid shit. That's what I was thinking. I was like, bitch, if they fall for this shit, like, girl, are you serious? And then she turned to Sylvie. It's like, how would you like to wake up tomorrow with a lifetime of happy memories? How would you like to just wake up, you know, and just living your peaceful, normal life? I know you've been on the run. But I'm so happy they refused her, because I was like, girl, are you serious? Like, bitch, as soon as you step in the Citadel, you gonna, like, bitch, that's obviously either a test or a trap, like, girl. So they refused her, and, you know, Loki says, we write our own destiny now. Miss Minutes is like, okay, girl. Miss Minutes like, all right, honey, good luck with that. Good luck with that. She's like, I totally believe you. Write your own destiny. Sure you do. Sure you do. So we switch back to the TVA, and Renslayer is looking at this the cup stains and shit she did for Mobius. When I tell you, I already told y'all I want to beat Renslayer ass. There's so many characters I want to beat, but I want to beat Renslayer ass. Miss Minutes shows up there too and gives her, I guess, different files than what she was expecting, but the files came from Kang anyway, so it's not like she could do anything about that shit. So we move back to the Citadel. And I love this disorienting shot of Loki and Sylvie in the Citadel. I love what the camera's doing, so it's just really cool. You walk in the Citadel, you see these broken ass statues and shit, or at least one broken statue. It almost seems abandoned, and I guess that's why Loki was like, are you sure this nigga's even still alive? Like, you know, like, did we come here and this shit is abandoned and nobody's in this bitch? And like, what is the tea? And as soon as he says that shit, almost, it's like Kang reveals himself. And I thought that this shit was fucking brilliant. Thought it was good. We already know that Jonathan Majors is a very, very, very talented actor. But I mean, I just think he has the range. He has the range. And the way that he portrayed this fucking character is kind of like, it was just creepy. He seemed insane. He seemed terroristic, but he was smiling in your face at the same time. He was hopping on the desks and shit and tables and shit. It was just great. He just did such a good fucking job, a good performance. So Kang reveals himself in this damn elevator. And, you know, Sylvia's like, girl, are you he who remains? And Kang was like, girl, that sounds a little creepy. Is Miss Minutes still calling me that shit? I mean, it's a little creepy, but I do like it. And the fact that he liked something creepy, I was like, okay, all right. So he invites them to talk in his office, and the elevator scene is just like filled with a bunch of suspense and anticipation, because it's like, okay, you control all of the TVA. You control it's given that you control the timeline, and you are responsible for all this shit, but you're just a man. So we're like, even as a viewer, you're like, okay, you know, you're expecting this like extremely powerful, magical, maniacal being, and this nigga's just like joking around, jumping around and shit, and like, oh, come to my office. It was just like, okay, You know, so after he says like, girl, I'm just flesh and blood, I'm just a man or whatever, Sylvie tries to kill his ass, bitch. She swipes Ho, and he avoids her so easily. He laughing in her fucking face. And then he said they get to the top or get to wherever they're trying to go. The elevator door opens and he's like, come on in, pouring them some tea and some shit, bitch. I was like, I would be so put off, like I'll be like, okay, I came here to fight, you pouring me tea and shit, you put sugar in this shit. I don't know if it's tea or coffee or what the fuck he was. I was like, what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? So the next thing that happens, I thought was really awesome. Because you have Mobius returning. We already know he was going to go back to the TVA to burn it down. But Mobius returns and he's just like, hey, girl. He talks to Renslayer like, hey, mama. He shows up in her office. She's like, oh, girl. And she tries to do this little bullshit like, oh, if anyone was going to make it back from the void, I suppose it was going to be you. I would have been like, girl, if you don't shut the fuck up. Stop trying to, I don't know, you trying to butter me up or some type of shit. If anyone was going to make it back from the void, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And she was like, are you gonna prune me, nigga? Like, Mobius, you finna come in, you stepping in here like you finna prune me, like, what's up? Mobius like, girl, I mean, we supposed to be friends. It was really shady. I love the way that Mobius speaks. He's like a bit sarcastic. I love it. And she just tries to explain herself. Like, I couldn't let you get in the way of our mission. And Mobius like, what the fuck are you talking about, ma'am? Like, all this shit is fake. We all variants. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? But she was just like, it couldn't have been for nothing. It can't have been for nothing. That's why I had to prune you. I guess she wanted to find the truth about something. I don't know, girl. But I was just so mad at her for doing the shit, man. And she tries to call for backup, but Mobius whips out some blue pen, and he was just like, yeah, girl, we already know your fucking secret, so I don't know if that's gonna work for you, baby. We already know what's going on. We find out later what that means. And then we switch immediately to another timeline. It's like 2018 in Ohio. And Hunter B-15 is like, she's purposefully getting hunted at this point. She's purposely like leading other employees. I'm calling them Minutemen, child. That's what I call them. She's leading the other TVA employees so that they can follow her, so that she can show them the Renslayer. If I'm getting this right, I think it's like a Renslayer variant or some shit like that. Or I don't know, or maybe a past version of Renslayer. So, and then we see the pens that Mobius had, like one of the pens that Mobius had, like all of those are collected on his desk, right? I mean, Hunter ends up showing them someone who looks like Renslayer, but from the degree in the back, I think I can make out that this variant's name, or whoever she is, her name is Rebecca. And she was just like, girl, we have a lot to talk about. She was talking to Hunter was talking to the employee that followed her, the other one that followed her into I guess she a principal or some shit, into Miss Rebecca's office. And he was like, girl, this must be Renslayer. And Hunter B-15 was like, it's absolutely not, ma'am. It's absolutely not. We have a lot to talk about. So then we switch back to the Citadel, bitch. And at this point, I don't know why Loki's even like trying to talk like he's some big bad, like big. He was like, girl, he was talking to Kang like, you've lost. We found you. We escaped your little game and blah, 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 blah. And Kang was like, girl, what old Nan from Game of Thrones, what old Nan said, my sweet summer child. Like, like, duh, you found me because I wanted you to. Like, Sylvie tries to swing yet again. She misses his ass again. So Kang ends up showing them proof that he knows exactly what's going to happen. They still don't really believe it. And we find out that Kang is kind of using the same kind of time travel technology that the TVA has to avoid her lunges and attacks. But he, like I said, he also makes it clear that he knows exactly what has happened and what will happen. And Sylvie, like they keep reiterating, Sylvie's like, girl, we got to you because we broke out of your control. But she's wrong. Kang, teases them like, girl, can you even trust each other? Can you, like, Sylvie, can you trust Loki for real? And you can see the conflict already brewing almost from that moment. I love how they're switching from the Citadel to the TVA, like scene wise. in the show because it's like 2 climaxes happening at the same time. You feel me? So Mobius is talking to Renslayer like, bitch, it's time that everyone knows about what's going on in this shady ass, nasty ass, shiesty ass, ugly ass, stank ass TVA, honey. And Renslayer was like, girl, okay, you want to bring this shit down, you want to do all this shit, but what if what we're doing is necessary? And you know, she's like, the thing that will come after this is just chaos and death and destruction. And it's just like they're just really having it out, and I understand it because like, bitch, you pruned Mobius. Like, stop playing with me. You pruned Mobius, and Mobius is just like, you betrayed me. You betrayed me. You betrayed me. We were friends, and look what you did to me. But then Renslayer turns around and says this, which I honestly, as much as I don't like her ass for doing that shit, I think it is a good point. She's like, bitch, you betrayed me. You're the one who betrayed me. She was like, we were in this together, and you tossed it away for a couple of Lokis. We were friends for eons, like Loki variants. Like, that's what you tossed it away for. And it's just like, from that perspective, you understand, like, okay, like, Renslayer is slick, kind of right, especially if she's still dedicated to this idea of the TV era, this idea of people not having free will in order to protect them from something that's even worse than the TVA trying to fuck up their lives. You know what I mean? Or trying to prune everything. So it's just, it makes sense, and I'm glad that she said that. I think the actress really pulled that emotion out and showed us what exactly Renslayer was thinking when she pruned him, and the fact that she feels like she has to do what is necessary to protect the timeline. So it's giving me very much anti-hero kind of things. So I don't know, Mobius kind of skims over that point that Renslayer made, and Mobius was, but honestly he doesn't, because he was just like, bitch, we cannot take people free will away. That's what really motivates him to be like, nah, we got to burn all this shit down. I have to take all this shit out. And if that means taking you out, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. So Mobius, you know, moves in, and she's like, I'm doing what I have to do, mama. And he tries to prune her, but he ends up at a disadvantage. I mean, she snatches that shit away and pushes him to the ground, and he's he literally lost that shit. But I mean, she told him before he lunged, I think, that even with that, you are no danger to me. So like, even with that pruning stick, Miss Mamas, you are no danger to me. So I wonder what exactly she means by that. You know, like, is she saying that I'm just a better fighter? I just, you know, or is she saying I'm so well connected? I'm so, you know, I'm second to Kang. Like, it doesn't matter if you prune me, he gonna come get me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what exactly does she mean by that? So she uses a temp pad to open up a portal, and she's about to walk through that shit. And Mobius says, listen, Miss Mamas, where are you going? And she says, in search of free will. In search of free will. So this particular scene, I think, is going to come in very handy. It's going to be something that we reference when we explore season 2 that they said was going to come out in the end credits, or end credit scene. It wasn't really a scene. It was just, I mean, I guess you could say it was a scene. It was like fucking 5 seconds long, but it just made us aware of the fact that Loki season 2 is coming out, which I'm really happy for. I do wish there was a second season of WandaVision, but I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It may have to do with whether or not we get a season 2 of WandaVision. Might have to do with what happens in the multiverse of fucking madness. So we gonna see. So we switch back to the Citadel, right? And Kang is talking about how he knows that Sylvie and Loki have moral objections to what he's doing, but he keeps insisting that what the TVA is doing is necessary. And he explains the story, and I'm gonna try and see if I get it right. So he's saying a variant of himself lived on the earth in the 31st century. I'm thinking he's saying that that's him. That's actually him, not actually a variant. So he says he's a scientist who discovered that universes were stacked on top of his own, and other versions of himself were learning that same fact about the multiverse. They were learning about other universes. So inevitably, I mean, the different variants made contact with each other, and there was a lot of peace. He said it was like narcissistic peace. But they exchanged technologies and tried to improve each other's universes and their own universes. So it was just like, okay, we find out that there are other universes. We're just helping each other out. This is crazy. Loved it. Loved it. Wow. Give me your technology. Oh, wow. That's so cool. Help improve my universe. I'll help improve yours. There was just a lot of harmony and no fighting. But eventually we found out even more versions, right? And he said that not every version of him was peaceful. Others wanted to conquer. So he said that there was chaos, and each variant were trying to preserve their own universe and annihilate the others. He said it was almost the end of everything, everything and everyone. So he explained then how he created Alioth. He weaponized it. I think he created it from like the tears in space-time, and he weaponized the creature. I think he created it, if I remember correctly. He weaponized it, and he was able to end the multiversal war between him, all the damn Kangs, all the damn Kangs. So what he did in order to make sure the shit wouldn't happen again, he isolated the timeline and managed the flow of time to prevent any further branches. And that's what the TVA was doing. It was preventing the calamity, the multiversal war, the destruction of everything from happening. As ugly as what the TVA was doing, that's what Kang was trying to prevent. So he says, you came to kill me, you came to kill the devil. But if you think I'm fucked up, he's like, if you think I'm fucking evil, you you better wait to see what the other versions of me about to do to your ass, sis. So it's like, what do you do then? Do you kill the person that has been fucking with your life since for centuries, forever? Or he gives them an option. He was just like, you can take over, or you can kill me, destroy the TVA, destroy everything, and just allow these other the other variants of me, to come in and fuck y'all up even further than I will. And Sylvie's like, girl, you could be lying. I don't know about all this shit. And Kang's like, yeah, girl, I could be lying. And Loki asked the question that I was asking while I was watching the damn episode. I was like, okay, you have all this fucking power. You're a god, basically. You're God. Like, you're a god. You have all this power. Loki was like, why would you give all this shit up? And Kang says, it's because I'm tired. I don't know if he said I've lived a million lifetimes or like millions of years or something like that. But he was just like, I'm tired of doing this shit. And Sylvie's not really having it. And I can understand the difference of perspectives when you talk about Loki versus Sylvie. Loki got his ass fucked up just, during the events of this show by the TVA. You know what I mean? He only had to experience a couple, 6 episodes of the fucking TVA. Sylvie was running for her entire fucking life. She was like, you treated real people's lives. She was telling this to Kang. You treated real people's lives like some kind of game. And I love Kang's response. Because it's like, okay, it gets Sylvie to be like, God damn, okay, he's right. He was like, grow up, Sylvie, grow up, murderer. I was like, fuck. I was like, he kind of right. He's like, we've all done terrible things. We're all villains here. But before anybody could really say anything after that, they reached the camera zooms in on Kang. And after he does this whole staring off into space bullshit, which was actually really cool, because I was like, what's happening? He tells them that he's reached the point in time, or I guess he's reached a point where he doesn't know what will happen anymore. So he did say that he knew everything that did happen and was going to happen, but it was only up until a certain point. And they passed the point where he knew what the tea was. And Loki was like, are you really going to let us decide your fate? And he's like, yes. I think he said something about reincarnation. And he was like, what's the worst that can happen? And Sylvie is still not having it. She's like, you're lying. You're fucking lying. But the moment that Kang takes off the tech, like, that allows him to time travel, I guess, or control time around him, Sylvie lunges, and it looks like she's about to get his ass for real, because once he took off the tech, I feel like that meant that he was very vulnerable at that point. And Sylvie obviously felt the same way, because she got up out of her motherfucking seat like she was about to give a standing ovation, honey. She was about to slice them goddamn jugular. Ho, okay, don't play with me. But then Loki stops her. Like he pulls her back. And then it's just like the natural thing to think when you're dealing with a Loki and he's stopping you from doing some shit that y'all agreed y'all was gonna do is that this bitch just betrayed me. Like, wow. She was like, wow, I never should have trusted your ass. She thinks that Loki wants the throne. Like, why the fuck are you stopping me from killing this motherfucker when the whole point of us going through Alliath and, you know, the whole point of me pruning my fucking self, like, what are you talking about? Is that you don't want me to, the whole point was to kill this motherfucker. You don't want me to do this shit? You want me to do this? So she thinks that he wants the fucking throne of Asgard. He thinks that, not Asgard, oh my God. She thinks that he wants the throne, I guess, of the fucking universe, I guess. Like, she thinks he wants control of over the timeline, I guess. Or maybe it's Asgard because Miss Minutes offered it to him. I don't know. Either way, she thinks that he wants control. And they talk it out. And I love the sentence that Loki said. The reason why we don't see this shit this way, the reason why we don't see this shit the same way is because he said, you can't trust and I can't be trusted. Woo! And bitch, they start fighting, ho. They start fighting, bitch. And it was just so stinking, bitch. I mean, I love seeing, let me tell you, I love seeing them hoes use their green ass powers, ho, looking like the Grinch, ho, and zapping these bitches. They were zapping each other, throwing chairs and desks and shit at each other, pulling each other back. Do they have telekinesis or some shit? Pulling each other back with magic. I loved it. So she tossed his ass on the damn ground. I mean, as she should. And he teleports right in front of her blade as she's about to you know, slice Kang's ass. Okay. And you know, he calms her down a little bit. And I was actually, at this moment, I was getting a little bit bothered. Because I was like, okay, yes, like, okay, we get it. Like, Sylvie should think before she acts, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't like the trope of like, oh yeah, the crazy deranged woman being calmed down by a man. You know what I mean? I was like, oh God, are they really taking this route? And she kisses him and I was like, okay. I mean, I thought it was cute that they kissed and shit, but I was like, oh my God, is she really finna not kill Kang just because, oh, she needs to calm down and Sylvie's just acting too irrationally? Like, no matter what the effects of killing Kang is, it's understandable, 100,000% understandable that Sylvie would not believe his ass, number one. Number two, it's understandable that regardless, she would want to kill him because of what the years and years of bullshit that she experienced. I'm sorry. Like I was so scared that they were going to take this route of like, oh my gosh, like calm the crazy bitch down. Like, I just don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. So, you know, I kept watching. I was like, okay, what's the tea? She kisses him. And you know, he was like, I don't want the throne. I just want you to be okay. Kiss him. And she was like, but I'm not you, girl. I'm not you, mama. And she sent his ass. Oh my gosh, she opened a portal, blasted his ass, and his ass right back to motherfucking TVA, girl. When I tell you I was fucking screaming. In this bitch, I was like, are you serious? I was like, are you fucking serious? Are you serious? And then you look at Loki's face and you're like, oh my God, he's so sad. He's so distraught. He got betrayed. But it's such a poetic thing especially in the finale. It's so poetic because Loki spent his entire life betraying people, backstabbing them. And now he had that shit happen to him in such a profound way that it's like, fuck. Like, even after all that backstabbing, you're like, damn, I feel bad for Loki. Shit. Like, God damn. So, I mean, she kissed him and everything, mama. I was like, yeah, that's how you write female characters, ho. That's how you write female characters. Because like I said before, I was scared that they were going to be like, oh girl, she crazy, calm her down. You know, you can't kill, don't kill, calm her down. So I'm glad they didn't go that route. I feel like this is how you write a completely empowered female character. And I feel like at this point, I wish we wouldn't even have to talk about that shit, or I wish it wasn't important to say, but it is important to say because I feel like there's a lot of people who can't write female characters. But I mean, I fucking love Sylvie. You know, I love that she's her own person. It's just, you know, I think the industry's getting a little better at it now, but it's just definitely before it was just giving damsel in distress, and I hate that shit. I love how they wrote her. So Loki got his ass sent back to the TVA, mama, and you know, he's fucking distraught. Sylvie kills Kang. Like, you ain't gonna beg for your life. He was like, nah, I mean, and she was like, okay, whatever, girl, that's fine. She stabs his ass, kills him, looks him in the eye while she kills him. And I was like, yes, girl, do what you got to do. Even though in my heart, I believe that Kang was not lying at all, I still was rooting for Sylvie. I don't care. I was still rooting for Sylvie. I was like, Loki's right. But honestly, I would want to kill that motherfucker too. I'm not gonna lie. So, Kang says, see you soon. And I think at that moment, you could see Sylvie like, girl, I done fucked up. I feel like at that moment, she's probably like, yeah, this nigga was lying. He was not lying. Like, we about to enter into multiversal war, like, for real. So immediately you see the timelines beginning to branch out, and it's just like, oh my God. So, Loki's in the TVA. So I guess after he, feels the weight of that betrayal, he tries to find Mobius in them. He tries to find people to warn them, because he's in the TVA, right? He tries to find them to warn them. It's just, as soon as he finds them, as soon as he sees them, he starts to expand like, girl, I think Sylvie done did it. We done did it. Multiversal war is coming. Kang is coming. Infinite versions of him are coming. Bitch, it's about to be some fucking disaster in this hole. It's about to be some disaster. And Mobius and Hunter B-15 look at his ass like, excuse me, who the fuck are you? When I tell you I was gagged again, they gagged me with that kiss and tossing Loki back in the TVA, but then they gagged me again. I was like, what? Mobius and Hunter B-15 do not know who this nigga is. That means they still be through his ass in another fucking timeline, bitch. I was like, oh my God. I mean, it's just giving completely hopeless, completely helpless. I mean, and you see the statue of Kang where it seemed like Kang is just like boldly out there as king of the damn timeline. I don't know what the fuck going on. And Hunter B-15 was like, does he want them all to just branch? So I'm wondering if she's talking about Kang. It's a mess. Absolute mess. And they just let us know in the end credits that there was going to be a season 2, and I'm ready and excited about that. But goddamn, what if comes up next? What if is next, right? The show, I think. It's a lot, but this show was great. It was great. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, for me, it's like WandaVision and Loki are on the same playing field, but then Falcon and the cishet soldier is something a little different for me. I'm not really featuring that one, but it's great. Can't wait to see what else happens. Oh my God. Free Loki. He going through some bullshit, bro. Free Loki. Anyway, love y'all, and I'll see you later.